Welcome to training for the role of communication specialist. Your role as a communication specialist will ensure that members in Sertoma have consistent, accurate, and timely communications. You'll be in contact with leaders of your assigned clubs at least once or twice per quarter to listen to the needs and issues of the club and make sure clubs are aware of all the resources and information Sertoma has to offer. In certain circumstances, you may even help connect clubs to trainers or other volunteers to address their training and support needs. The purpose of the communication specialist is to bring value and strength to the relationship between Sertoma clubs and members through timely and accurate communications. Sertoma asks that communication specialists have a desire to help Sertoma and its members develop stronger relations, good written and verbal communication skills, competency in a variety of communication tools and technologies, and knowledge of Sertoma's plans, activities, and structures, as well as the club's operations and responsibilities. Volunteers should plan to devote an average of 1 to 2 hours per week for their communication specialist duties. In return for your service, Sertoma will provide training to develop your skills and knowledge, support and open communication from staff and other leaders, and reimbursement of appropriate and authorized expenses. So why have we decided to use communication specialists? Well, this structure allows these volunteers to always be club focused. It fosters communications based on the relationship and needs of individual clubs to Sertoma, giving them the best opportunity to serve their community. It is our hope that it also gives members easier access to support, training, and information from the national organization. We have designed the program so that our specialists do not work with clubs in their area. Not only does this foster more honest and open communications by keeping competition out of conversation, it also gives both parties the opportunity to exchange mutually beneficial ideas and resources. There is true value in sharing information outside of a limited geographic area. Finally, each specialist will work with a predetermined number of clubs to keep the workload balanced among volunteers so that no one gets overwhelmed. There's a team who will be providing support and guidance to this role and will be reporting directly to the board of directors. As you can see from this slide, that includes a board member, a volunteer lead, and a staff member. There are also teams like this in place for our other specialists, which focus on mission and training. Quarterly calls between specialists and staff provide the opportunity for a check-in. These conference calls allow all volunteers to hear the same information, exchange ideas, and ask questions. Calls will include goals for the quarters and the chance to share feedback and more. Action reports help specialists keep track of their volunteer work. This form, which can be accessed through the Communications Specialist page in the Member Center, provides updates and feedback so that staff can guide next steps for the club. It is also how we can track progress for our Gold Star Award program for our specialists. Remember, this report should be completed before the close of each club communication and should include a simple summary of what Sertoma and its volunteers need to know to respond to the club's questions or needs. What should you expect for your first call? There is no script when it comes to communication specialist calls, but you do need a plan. You'll start by introducing yourself, identifying your contact for the club, and scheduling your first appointment. Then, we recommend reaching out at least 48 hours before that first call to remind them of the date and time. Now, let's keep in mind that the goal of this call is to build a relationship with Sertoma, and at this moment, you are Sertoma. What do you think is important to learn or share on the first call? You might think about it like a first date. How do you make a good impression and get to the second date? How that conversation starts and sounds, and how long it will last really depends on the club. It's important to listen and confirm that you understand what they are communicating. It's more than just hearing and telling. Each call you make following your first call will have a different goal. An agenda of talking points and information will be provided to you by your staff leads. They will be following up with you regularly to answer any questions you might have. The key to any relationship is trust, and that means being honest and accountable. For the communication specialist, this means representing Sertoma in a clear, accurate, and positive light. This requires an understanding of not only what Sertoma has to offer, what it's asking and doing, but also why. It means you have to challenge what people, including yourself at times, believe and share what is actually true. As communication specialists, you need to be able to address many types of issues that might impact a club's relationship with Sertoma. This could include things like how Sertoma and the clubs are structured as an organization, including legal and tax status, how and what the board does, how members have a voice in the organization, and what HCOA does and how it impacts Sertoma clubs and members. You can find additional training and resources anytime on the Communication Specialist page in the Member Center at members.sertoma.org.